Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of Rapid Unscheduled Discussion, a podcast where we all know your name, at least as long as it's Norm and Cliff, because let's be honest, that's the only reason why we saw that show.
Yes.
With me, as always, is my guest, Daryl Sausse. Legend has it, he got a baby inside a king cake, and he was supposed to bring it next time. He didn't, so that's how he ended up on this show. So everyone, Daryl Sausse.
Hey there, all you cool cats and kittens. Yes, my name is Daryl. This will probably be the last week I use that because Tiger King is starting to decline. So even though Seth saw it, wait, he hasn't seen the show yet. Joining us tonight,
There's a lot I haven't seen.
Rach in space. How you doing? Good to
Hi
have you.
everyone. Thank you for having me, Seth and Daryl. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for
This
coming
is
by.
going to be space excellence.
And marking that one down for puns.
Add a tally.
We'll have a running tally of all the puns and photos she takes this stream. And we'll see. Oh, you know what I'm not showing?
What are you not showing?
I'm not showing the launch.
Yes.
So, this is a show we talk about the latest space news. If you guys don't know, we're all big space guys. So, and girl. Yes, and girl. So, in the last week, we've had 2 launches. Praise be.
This is a good week.
I know.
Yeah.
We have gone how long without a launch? Like,
It feels like forever. If you think about it, it's only been a couple of weeks since the last Starlink, but it just feels like forever.
I was talking with my friend, and I was talking about, remember the memes of the people not wearing proper masks at, stores? Because I found one, I just found an old one, and he goes, yeah, I'm like, doesn't that feel like it's been, 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
I
really
actually
does.
forgot about the meme, and that was only, 3 weeks ago.
I should have brought a mask to demo exactly what your governor did.
Wait, whose?
Why do we gotta talk about our governor?
Remember,
all the time?
we're in. I'm assuming 3 different states.
Georgia.
Florida.
Ooh.
Oh,
We
come
don't
on.
talk about that.
Oh,
So
man.
we're not getting into football talk on this show too. Awesome. Good.
The only Falcons we're talking about are space related, okay?
Yes.
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 Falcon
The only
9.
Falcons I like.
Great segue, Rachel.
Yes.
Yeah. So last week, when was it? Wednesday? Thursday?
It feels like
Friday?
forever ago. You
I
see
don't
what's
remember
happening?
So SpaceX launched 60 more satellites, which brought them up to concurrently, I think it's 422. But actually, I think 3 have deorbited, so 419. But we just rounded up to say 420 because we're grown adults with the maturities of a 15-year-old. So
And
I'm not gonna
it's
lie,
and
when
it's
I
Elon. Huh?
saw Elon's tweet about 420,
on
I
420,
cried. I could not stop laughing.
Oh man.
there's
Could you not see that? Oh my gosh!
Yes. He had to have designed this so the math works out to where there would be 420 in space. Just the fact that it happened on 4/20/20 is just even better.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I like that we all drink to that.
Yes.
At the same time.
cheers.
Cheers.
Oh man.
I need more alcohol in me anyways. Doesn't matter. All right, so yeah, we had the launch. That went fine. They recovered the booster. They landed it, which I actually thought was I actually was on the edge of my seat. It's been a while since I've been on the edge of my seat for a landing because they failed the last 2 times.
That's the ghost of 1046. That's
And-
the. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. For anybody new to this show, I've heard it up plenty of times. The ghost of booster 1046. 1046 was the one intentionally destroyed the IFA test, and it goes haunting them for a while. If you look at it, the next 2 launches lost a booster. No, I'm sorry. Lost one, recovered it, lost another.
No, I think it's 2 in a row.
Was it 2? I don't know. It's been so long.
I'm pretty sure they've I think they've only literally launched Starlink launches.
No.
No?
CRS.
Oh, CRS.
I was at that one. And they recovered that one. That was my practice for Salcom, which was supposed to have happened. But yes, the ghost of Booster 1046. So hopefully with this one, they've broken the curse because the booster has now made it back to port. Unless the water.
Yeah, it is quite windy out there right now. So
yeah, I re-jinxed it. It is. I re-jinxed it. So when we're watching, anyone else freak and it looked like it was. And it was like, wait a minute, I didn't make it down to the deck. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And then it popped up like it.
I always forget they lose signal during re-entry.
But that didn't really lose it.
So it all looks the same to me.
That one didn't necessarily. That one just like because you could see the pixels still moving around, so that's why I was thinking, oh, here goes another one, and then all of a sudden, boop, it's there.
But when it landed, I was kind of like half off my seat, and I'm like, oh, come on, yes! But okay, yeah. So they landed it. We can go over. Kyle Montgomery, great guy out there on the Space Coast. Of course, all my tabs are now going to reload since I clicked on YouTube stream. So, got great pictures of them coming in the port of Mischief and Mystery, coming in with the with all the fairings, and they're not broken.
And they fished them out.
Yeah, they did fish them out because they didn't have the software update for the.
That's. You recovered them and you're gonna fly again? Cool. It works. Go with it.
Yeah, I mean, if they can recover it with through the water, more power to them. Like whatever. I mean, the net thing's awesome. I mean, it's like Elon playing catch with his son.
What?
But that's what it used to be because it used to be Mr. Stevens. So I always called it like Elon playing catch with his son. But now he has 2 daughters, so I guess he's still playing catch with them. Just
Wait,
2 at a time.
Did Grimes have the baby yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
I feel like
Elon was having another baby.
Loud.
Oh yeah, that's right. Did he get married, or or they're not married yet?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's why I was like wondering. I don't really pay attention to his. I used to watch the. Oh, what is it called? Muskwatch or something like that? Some YouTube show. And I stopped watching it when I'm like, this is very culty. Like, they follow his social life. Like, they talked about...
Can we have a magazine? I mean, there's definitely a pun on Cosmo there somewhere. All about space politics. And...
I'm horrible with puns. I don't know.
Like, beauty tips.
Oh.
Like, where the...
You know,
Men, you're gonna be stairs.
Yep, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah,
typical men.
Stuff. I don't know. We are typical men. We are men.
Did he ever? Did he on the cover of like was it Tiger Beat magazine or something like that? Has he ever been one of those?
I wouldn't be surprised if he's on some magazine cover because I mean he's Elon Musk. Like, come on, like he's got to be on something.
But I'm not talking about like full like that. Maybe GQ. I don't know if he's ever ended up on GQ. I don't know. That's one of those publications. But one of those like the teen heartthrob kind of magazines. Like
oh
when we
no,
were kids,
those were popular back when he was partially bald, dude. And now he's too old to be on one of those. Like when he was in the age to be on like 17 or something like that. Like there's a few of them. I remember seeing 17 a lot on Snapchat. But he was back when that was popular. For his age, he was bald. Then he got hair transplants, and now he's too old for them.
Wow.
Anyway.
But
so yeah.
This is so everyone watching. This is the reason why it's called Rapid Unscheduled Discussion, because it rapidly unschedules. But yeah, so also this is a great picture from again, always reloading. I love it. From Space Coast Steve MR. He got a great picture of the booster coming in the port. Great picture.
Steve has been doing some great work lately. Like he's been dabbling in video work with his with head remotes and things like this.
Mhm.
He's got like a video of it coming into port, and it's just phenomenal. Steve, if you're hearing this, great work, man. That stuff is
He's doing a
beautiful.
great
Keep it
job.
up.
Whenever I see his name on my feed, I get really excited because I know whatever he took a picture of is going to be beautiful.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah, and the boost. Yeah, so the booster's still on the. They were supposed to take it off the drone ship today, but I think it's too windy. So I think they're trying to take all precautions because they've lost so many. They're like, let's handle this very carefully, delicately. Oh, there's a gust of wind. Let's not touch it. Yeah. John Krause also took some great pictures.
He did.
Yeah, they all. I was surprised the amount of people that were out there. Usually there's less people out there right now, but yeah. But I love they have what's that Ghost Searcher, I believe, has the helipad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a Ghost Searcher there with all the other boats, which I guess boating is a great way to social distance. I mean, they look to be 6 feet apart.
Well, I did see pictures of all the photographers out there, and yes, they were wearing masks. So thank you guys for being responsible.
Yes, at least they were responsible. There were pictures though and stuff I talked about from other people who went elsewhere and they were not wearing masks, and they were definitely not 6 feet apart. But hey, you know they're adults.
Yeah,
They can do whatever they want.
As long as they do it away from me.
Speaking of doing whatever they want, Russia. Is that a terrible
These guys.
segue?
On to it.
There was also
Down,
a.
Seth.
I missed it because I had sound. What was it?
Am I at 2?
Wait,
I think I'm at 2.
what was the pun? I had sound coming through my headset. I didn't hear it.
I said Russian right to it. Get it? I'm sorry.
2 puns.
Mark that
All right.
down.
So, Russia had a launch as well. They launched the Progress MS-14 mission. Soyuz is always great to watch. I actually totally missed this launch because I totally didn't know it happened. Like, I don't know how, but
I'm gonna watch it live just afterwards.
yeah. NASA usually does a live stream for it in English, but not really good. So, oh no, they didn't do a live stream today.
NASA usually carries something when there's crew involved.
Yeah, they only do the crude ones. They don't do the Progress ones.
Right. The progress ones, you gotta just sit there and hope you know what they're talking about. Which
I won't even do an accent because I know it's gonna be terrible. So, of them like talking through it, I've gone through some Roscosmos streams before, and it's not great. But yeah, this is a video of them 40 minutes before it launches, which is just absurd.
That's not even the craziest part. There's only video of this. You know, they're usually on the pad.
I have so many questions.
Up to about 10 minutes till.
Okay, to be fair, Daryl, would you do that?
Absolutely. I am dumb enough.
Let's think about everyone working down there, and they're probably like, hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
When do we get this opportunity?
I'm looking up right at a rocket that could melt my face off.
Exactly.
And to die, if you could choose a way to go out. Rocket fire.
The only way I would want to choose that is if it's an Atlas, because then there's an act of God.
You know,
I love that joke. That joke's great.
That was good. I'll give you that one. Funny you should say that though, Seth, because about a month or so, Tory Bruno with all the tweet storm that he's been doing lately, because he is as bored as the rest of us. I actually. Oh, he is the best. He is the best. I need to check with him to see if he's growing that mustache yet. But I asked him, I'm like, hey, can I be right at the pad for a launch to take pictures? And he's like, no, you will die from the sound pressure. I'm like,
and there's a perfect spot on their vertical integration facility. There's a little patio type deal at the top of that. It's either on that or it's on the Delta pad.
Yeah, that's the Delta pad.
There's a little patio, and it's the perfect location.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's meant for launch viewing.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, Tory Bruno and ULA is like, no, the vibrations will kill you. I'm like, listen, that's up to me. All right.
You know what? If he won't let me be there while I'm still alive, I'm making it official right now on the stream that on the event of my death, I want my body to be either at the pad or yeeted into space with the launch vehicle.
Yeeted into
Alright,
space.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
there were 2 of us in person for the witness that, so I think that's legally binding now.
Are you kidding? You see how many people are in the stream watching right
Okay,
now?
well,
I got a lot more than 2 witnesses.
we got more than 1, so I guess it's legally binding now. So
I hand up. That's
I
what
think
want.
I would like to be, like underneath the launch. Like I want to be the flame deflector. And then that's my ashes. They all scoop them up and then they put them in an urn.
You will be deflected. You won't be the deflector. You'll be deflected out to the ocean.
Yeah. My body will be the one deflecting the flame because it's strong enough, obviously, because I work out all the time. So even when I die, like my muscles will still be super strong.
You work out.
I do push-ups.
Hey man,
Sometimes.
cool. Do it.
Ish.
Sometimes, like
Not-
maybe once a week.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're doing
I
better than me.
push food into my mouth all the time.
Exactly. Fact. I'm all about.
I
fitness.
go down and I take a bite of ice cream. I come back up, go back down, bite of ice cream, back up.
I'm sorry. You bite ice cream?
Okay, have a
You
piece
are a
of.
psychopath, sir.
Okay,
I'm
having
pretty
like
sure
a
that's one of,
spoonful
the
of
main
ice
things
cream.
that makes someone a psychopath is if you bite ice cream.
I think that's-
Yeah, Seth.
Didn't you
I
read that?
I don't bite ice cream.
Mm.
I said I took a bite as in like a scoop.
I see you crawfishing that comment back.
It doesn't count. It wasn't Rachel. But I will add an asterisk to that.
But yeah, the Soyuz launch. So we're talking about how long they were at the pad. I actually watched that live stream when it happened, and the vehicle was still in flight, not even in orbit yet, and there were people back at the pad.
Oh yeah, they're like right back.
Less than 8 minutes later.
I mean, there's not much for at least for RP1, like for a Carolox engine. I don't think there's much toxins there to really worry about. It's like it's like it's kerosene. It's just highly refined. I think the issue mostly is when it comes down to hypergolics, which obviously Russia still doesn't care about because they have the proton, and I think they're right back on the pad right away as well.
Not for much longer.
Well, yeah. How many more missions does that have?
A couple.
Yeah.
I would love to photograph one of those. Beautiful.
Yeah, especially when it blows up. It does some assaults for us. It flips.
Yeah, because Russia doesn't believe in flight elimination system.
No, I mean, I don't either, but
In Soviet Russia, rocket towards you.
yes. Oh man. I think the next flight we have coming up, I think is May 1st.
Yeah.
I think so. I think May 1st. I think we have a Starlink launch coming up, and then we have, which is what our next thing is about.
Oh.
The Atlas V booster for the X-37B. Yeah, 37.
Yep.
There's too many X planes, but X-37B, which is like the super secret. Apparently, it was Air Force. I guess now it's Space Force, because it's
The little baby shuttle.
it's now USSF-7. So I guess it's now officially.
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah, it's the little baby shuttle. It's when a mommy shuttle and a daddy shuttle love each other very much. You know,
Is that-
that's how it works.
Well, there's some bureaucracy in there somewhere that makes sure it's.
I've never seen the actual process of them coming together to make their baby. You know,
What do
that's the kind of thing I'll give them their private.
What did you think the mate demate system was for? Sorry, you had to say it.
You win that one. You win that round, sir.
All right, that was great. I didn't even. It was the mate demate device. If you really think about it, the space shuttle whole system was full of sex jokes. I'll be honest, because you have the mate demate device, and my favorite one is when they were coming to re-enter. So it would come in and they would re-enter on the side, right, angled, because if they come in straight up, they'll lift to put them back into space because they have wings and stuff. And so NASA decided, well, just turn sideways and the lift will go sideways. But then so they do like the little S pattern, S turns.
It's a bleed off velocity.
Yeah. But like if they just go straight up, their two wings produce enough lift for them to go back. They'll skip off the atmosphere.
Okay.
Yeah. So they go sideways, so then they can they don't skip up, and for other reasons as well. They go higher, lower, whatever. But when they go too far one direction, they need to go the opposite direction, and they call that a roll reversal. 100%.
Wow.
You should look up your Wikipedia in book form of the space shuttle. I bet it's in there somewhere.
That book. That
books.
That giant 20-pound.
Rachel, have you seen this book?
Mm-hmm.
Don't make me grab it off the shelf.
Grab it. Oh, I'm gonna make you grab it off the shelf, Daryl. Why would you think I wouldn't want you to grab it off the shelf?
Which is stack behind you. What book do you have on the shelf?
That one? Wait, can you see? Is that in frame?
Oh, I should. Yeah, let me switch it over.
In the frame. Hold on.
Oh,
these
shuttle?
ones.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Pick it up. Come on. Exert some energy.
I'm trying not to knock over the Saturn V.
Yeah. It's a sturdy Lego set. Yeah.
God.
I feel like I'm kind of missing out, but I don't have a Saturn V behind me.
Oh.
Thanks for lending me new, guys.
I'm sorry.
That was a part of.
I'm sorry.
I'm just happy to be able to have it in a shot finally. No, this giant 3-volume set on designing the shuttle. I mean, it is just one of these things. Look how massive this is. This is like 17, 18 pounds when it came in from Amazon. It had the special handling thing or whatever. And, yeah, because it was so dang heavy, but oh my God, does it have so much detail in there. Like, it reads like stereo instructions. I think that's how the line... Yeah. Remember that line from Beetlejuice? Like, oh, this thing reads like stereo instructions. So yeah, it's more like a technical manual than a history of the shuttle. But it's...
I say SLS 3 times. What launch on schedule?
Oh man!
Actually, speaking of the shuttle, getting away from news for a little bit.
Oh man! Oh yeah,
I'm sorry.
That was great.
No. This is something I brought up to Seth.
I don't know what to put that on. I mean, is that a pun or is that just a plain insult?
It's not an insult. It was just.
Like, Boeing needs some ice for that.
I mean, if you really want to talk about launch delays...
I love Boeing. Okay, let's not...
Yeah, Boeing's great. Except for when they're not.
I'll like Boeing when their stock gets down to $80 a share.
and then you start speaking well of Boeing? I think that's, like, illegal.
What?
Promote companies that you own stock in.
Hang on.
Though I think I might actually.
You sell that Aerojet Rocketdyne real fast.
I plead the fifth. I talked too well about Virgin Orbit, Virgin Galactic, and I own 2 shares.
Wow.
Though I do usually say I own shares before I talk about it. But
yes. So speaking of the shuttle, there's something I want to hit on today, and I guess I'm the only one who noticed this because I don't between Twitter and Facebook, but there was a lot of hate over the weekend for both the shuttle and Starlink. Now, we know where the Starlink hate comes from. Astrophotography community, I'm dabbling in it nowadays, so I'm in 1 or 2 groups on Facebook, and sure enough, a Starlink launch, and everybody comes out the woodwork saying, oh, Starlink this, Starlink that.
Nobody's that's going on.
Yeah, that's been ongoing. I kind of expect that. That'll die down until the next launch. But the shuttle hate that I saw actually came from a fairly prominent YouTuber.
Yeah,
she was tweeting about it. She does vintage space, and
yeah, Amy Okay. I should have thought before I said it.
Yeah, you search for it and sound
I have
it
her
out.
book right over on my coffee table, but that's really far. That's really far away.
And she does great stuff. I've checked out her work, but she shared a Gizmodo article that came out Wednesday, just ripping on shuttle, saying it was like pointless and a bad idea and everything like that. Here's the funny thing about that Gizmodo article. Like, I've been a reader of Giz for years and years. And they still do some pretty good stuff, but over the last like 2 or 3 years, ever since they were no longer under Gawker Media. Was it Univision bought them out, I believe? They've become more clickbaity, and I think this was one of those articles. And the funny thing about it is, in this article, the author, I can't remember his name. I don't know if I should have it in front of me. Oh well. He was emailing back with some professionals who've like researched into this, and it was mostly talk about, it never lived up to what it was supposed to be. It was always costing way too much, which we all know about. People like us will freely acknowledge, yeah, we know it went way the hell over budget all the time, every time.
Yeah.
But one of these people in the email said to him, no, even for all of that stuff, you can't say the shuttle was a bad idea. He put that in his article, yet that was still the headline of the article. And it started so much shuttle hate that I saw on Twitter over the weekend. I'm like, where did this crap come from? Where? It's the damn shuttle. We all grew up with it,
I don't.
And now people are bashing on it.
I don't really like. I saw that. Like, I saw that tweet and I saw the thread, and I'm like, that's like, because I know she is not necessarily pro shuttle. I don't think but she's way more historic about it. But then you have three different groups. I will not dispute
the facts about it. I will say, factually, it's accurate.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of emphasis on all of the bad stuff.
I'm talking about like Mitch's Space. Like she's not pro like shuttle. You have like three different groups of people. You have people who were like pre-shuttle, who would rather have like the Nova program. They'd rather have more moon landings and Mars landings than shuttle landings. Then you have people who grew up with shuttle who like loved the shuttle. Yeah, like, and then there's people like, I mean, I grew up with the shuttle, though wasn't really interested in the shuttle. I got more in the space after the shuttle, to where I can look on the shuttle, not unbiased, because obviously I guess we grew up more. No, we didn't even grow up. We're just more accustomed to SpaceX. But we have SLS, so we're kind of like, it has the same issues as SLS, over budget, delayed, covered in red tape. Like,
we're calling out SLS now because we know the mistakes of the shuttle. That's called learning from stuff. But the problem is, we know about this stuff, we're calling them out on it, and yet they're still going down this road. That's everybody bad on SLS. I want to see it work. I know people in New Orleans who are working on it.
Yep.
And
I love the Orion capsule. Orion capsule has been the best part that's come out of this. And I'm friends with Barry, who's a project manager for that, and they're all great people. Yeah. And they're just waiting for a rocket to launch their thing. Like, they just someone launch our capsule, please. Like,
and it's like I want to see it succeed, but do it smartly. And I think it might end up worse than the shuttle. I mean, you're only reusing the boosters at this point. You're not going to refurb the capsule. Nothing else is getting reused. Yeah, that's why it's going to end up worse than the shuttle. So
I'm pouring myself a second drink here.
That was a lot heavier than I thought it was. The other thing,
even though I roasted SLS with an itty bitty joke, I did not mean it. I'm rooting for it. Okay.
I still think the reason why SLS is still going to go through is a little bit of government, a little bit of lobbying, but also I'm still a disbeliever in Starship ever being docked with the ISS or Gateway at all. I just don't think NASA will ever allow or even I think Russia would be like, no, because Russia already doesn't like the commercial crew stuff. There's no way they're going to be like, oh, let's dock something that's larger than Gateway to Gateway. It's going to be like, really, Gateway's going to be docking to Starship.
Yeah, when you put it like that.
I mean, let's be honest. Who's docking to who at this point? But I just think it's too large. It's going to be way, way longer before NASA gets on the Starship board.
It's got there's a niche market for SLS at point. You got to put big stuff with it.
It's Artemis.
Europa Clipper.
Even Europa Clipper could go to elsewhere. Yeah. It wouldn't be able to do, what is it called? Jupiter Direct? What is it called? I don't even remember where Europa it's going to Europa.
Come on.
They can't do the direct. They can't do the direct transfer, but I mean, it'll be way cheaper to launch it on Falcon Heavy or Starship.
well, we all know about the cost stuff and whatnot, and I mean, there's just some things that it can handle, and it should be allowed to handle.
The launch platform alone is more expensive than an expendable Falcon. Well, not I think a reusable Falcon Heavy.
Oh, you mean the tower?
The tower. If you break up the tower I think it's only be used for 4 launches, I believe. If you break up the cost of the tower, which is like $2 billion, I think it is.
Oof.
It's more expensive per launch to pay for the tower to be built than Falcon Heavy.
Well, that's it. I don't know. We
like that's the point where I remember
We're all part of Artemis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Artemis is a great
all
program.
This. At least have a little bit of
I have a lot of
Artemis pride.
I have a lot of hope that it's going to be used
Absolutely.
because I think the Orion capsule is the saving grace of the SLS.
Oh, trust me, I am all for it flying. I plan on being there the first time it
Oh,
goes.
hell yeah. That's gonna
I
be
even want to make it
amazing.
over to Stennis for the green run
Green run.
test. I mean, it's an easy drive for me, so why the heck not? In fact, I passed by it earlier today.
Okay, does NASA even announce that test? Because every time I've seen them do a test of a SLS to component, it's like 3 days after it's happened.
I've got a buddy of mine who has managed to make it to a couple of engine test firings before. I got to check with him and see how he got in on that because, man, I need to get in on that. But no, I will be there for that stuff. I want it to go. It's just, we all see some issues it has, but hey, if it goes, it goes. I want it to go. Cool. That's
You're right.
Yeah.
Now the other thing, going back to the other half of the hate over the weekend, man, the Starlink stuff, it mostly bugs me because I get where astronomers and astrophotographers are coming from. Problem is, nobody's complaining about the ones at the operational orbit. Everybody wants to complain about the trains. And here's the other thing that gets me. Most astrophotographers, the way they work stuff is you'll stack multiple long exposures, sometimes a few hundred of them over the course of a few nights. So if you get a Starlink train that passes through 1, maybe 2 of your frames,
you can take those frames out.
You can easily take those
And
out. The software takes that stuff out.
And those are all the pictures as well that are coming up. They're not even the ones of all the stack. They're literally just taking the ones with Starlink through them and just showing that. It's like, take them out. Like, take the frames out.
Where's the hate for everything else right now? You don't hear anybody complaining about the Iridium constellation.
The issue is mostly because they're so bright when they launch. Like Iridium is not that bright because there's only they launch one Iridium at a time. Plus they're much higher.
Oh yeah.
I think one issue why they didn't complain about OneWeb is because they were much higher, so they were much dimmer.
Yep.
It's just gonna be this is gonna lead to cheaper, better in space observing for scientists, and it's gonna be fine.
There's an article that I read over the weekend. I can't remember. It was something having to do with SpaceX and developing a telescope, kind of to appease astronomers. Do either of you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Elon talked about that. I think he kind of casually mentioned it in passing.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we'll work with y'all on putting more telescopes up with Starship and things. Hey, even for just amateur, intermediate astrophotographers who kind of do the stuff as a hobby and not professional astronomers who do the kind of for a living, put up some specialized CubeSats. Have people pitch in, buy in on some CubeSats for a while, send them up, and CubeSats are what, yay big. I'm sure you could fit some great equipment in there.
They're much smaller. Yeah, they're even much smaller than that. Like that's like maybe like a 3U you just put. I think they're like this big.
Yeah.
I'm obviously a professional in this. I know exactly how big they are. You should all listen to me and listen to what I say for truth.
I want to say I get where the astronomy and astrophotography community is coming from. I think it's a little overblown though. I think it is because, like I said, everybody's complaining about the trains when they're still together.
Yeah.
When they spread out, everybody shuts up. They get up to the operational order, nobody's complaining about it. I
didn't see much complaining about it until they launch. Like you don't see much complaining. Do you see though?
Every launch.
There are some missions that there were some times when they were between the launches and they're in their higher orbit, not operational orbit yet, but they're spread out, and they've been like, I've seen some where like the magnitude is still far high, it's still visible to the human eye, and it's like middle of the night. It's like, okay, that's a little concerning, but I feel like one, you should definitely like not be taking 5-hour exposures.
Well, you don't take one single 5 hour. Now there's some people who will get up to like 30 minutes. But if you're the kind of person who's doing a 30-minute exposure, you're zoomed in so far in the night sky that your field of view is like this compared to everything else out there. So the chances of the whole damn train coming in and ruining your shot are kind of slim. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of misplaced hate for just Elon in general.
Over 20 satellites, and not the what's the amount that he's planning on?
Couple thousand.
Like
2,000, I think it's at now.
So I think it's more of a curiosity of whatever we allow now. What is that going to allow in the future? I mean, we're already this far into it. There's no time for what happens when there's thousands,
and that's just Starlink. You got Mr. Suborbital wants to do a constellation of his own. There's one or two other people talking about it out there.
I love the way my friend referred to him as the Hermit. I won't say who that friend is.
Jeez. Do I know him?
Yes, you all know him. All right.
Ooh.
Yeah, I saw one article which was like slightly concerned me about it. Was apparently it was like I didn't check the facts on it. I kind of just skimmed the article because I didn't really take it that seriously. Was an asteroid coming through. It was small enough to hit a satellite, and it could hit a couple satellites, and then all of a sudden, what was it called?
Kessler syndrome.
Kessler syndrome, where all of a sudden, now we can't leave the planet. I saw it, I'm like, And he's like, with 2,000 satellites of just one constellation, and then you drop another 600 more on top of that. Then you drop all the satellites we have already. Then all the satellites that aren't operational that are up there. I'm like, okay, yep, all right.
I mean, I post I'm very positive and I like to share all the fun news, but if people aren't being loud about at least how they feel, which I totally understand, then it's not really stopping anyone from paying attention. Otherwise, Elon probably would not care to participate in building telescopes, or because I think there's some revisions to this new set of satellites.
So, well, not yet. No. So they've done testing with like a darkening paint, a coating on it, and it helped. And it helped, but not that great.
Yeah. He also said they're changing the way they orient themselves as they're raising up, because you see when they get thrown off the stack, they're just like, we're in space.
Yeah, they're adding rotation control, which I believe is on the next launch. I believe on the next, or their sunshade's going to be on the next launch.
Yeah. For anyone watching, if you have strong opinions about Starlink, we would love to hear them.
Yes,
I mean, you
definitely
can
throw them in.
Yes. Please throw me their. I mean, you can tag their page for Rapid Unscheduled Discussions or me, because I mean, I'm not an expert on it, but I see completely both sides.
Yeah, it's a valid argument, but also it's an argument that can be easily overcome.
Yeah, I saw disinformation, hate going around. There's a lot of fake videos of Starlink. Who sits around and makes fake videos of a Star train? Really?
On the internet before.
Come on, there's many fake things. Come on, the internet is fake. What do you mean?
This is my first day on the internet.
The 90% of what you see on the internet is fake.
I know.
We're not even real. We're just CGI.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean? The world is just a simulation.
Oh yeah, this entire live stream is one whole deep fake video right now.
Oh no.
AI yesterday. I mean, what did we agree on? If it doesn't name itself Ultron, we
fail.
Fail.
If our robot overlords don't call themselves Ultron, I'll be disappointed.
Can you please have the voice of James Spader? Because you say what you will about Age of Ultron, he was awesome. He had the perfect voice for that. I've been a fan of his work for years.
I'm trying to think. Isn't it also that's also the voice of Jarvis?
No.
No?
No. That's Paul Bettany.
Wow, for some reason they sounded the same. I need to go back and watch. I've been going back and I've been watching Harry Potter.
I don't know. Well,
That's what I've been.
What are your houses? Tell me.
What?
What's your? Talk about Harry Potter. What's your house?
I think I'm Hufflepuff. I have no idea. I remember doing that a long time ago, but I don't remember the difference between all the different houses. I just remember that Slytherin is like cunning, and then what's the one's bravery.
Kids.
Which one's bravery?
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor. That's right.
Brave.
Yeah, that's right.
And...
Duh. That's what the whole movie's about. Yeah, I've been spending most of my time watching these. We'll talk about what I've been watching Harry Potter while also watching later in the show. But first we need to talk about Rachel's wine. We need to talk about your wine. Show us your wine.
Oh, which one? I have 3.
Whoa. Somebody.
Wow.
Okay, I went to Publix before this. So, okay, let me get real quick. So I had mention for this one particular wine, which I thought that it was at Publix, but I think it was actually at Trader Joe's. So it's called Moon X.
What?
Ooh. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. What kind of wine is it? Is that a red?
So it was a red. It was a.
It's empty, huh?
Like Cabernet Sauvignon.
You can tell I don't know anything about wine.
I'm not a big beer drinker. I'm not a big liquor, but I do like my wine. And I will buy anything if you put the word moon or anything space related on it. So this one's delicious. It's like a little bit sweet, but I couldn't find it. So I went for my alternative, which I've been wanting to buy for a while. Okay. This is from Publix, and it's called Drop Jupiter.
Oh, man.
I don't even know what this stuff even is.
I know. Okay, it's the best. And watching, if you're a big wine drinker, just fact that I can keep the bowl.
I do the same thing with bourbon. I bought a bourbon for I love the bottle, which is the number one thing you don't buy bourbon for, is you don't buy anything based on the bottle when it comes to alcohol. It's like rule number one. But it was a shotgun shell with a snake wrapped around it. I'm like, that looks amazing. Like, and it's called American Barrel. Like, come on, that's amazing. Bought it for my graduation. The worst bourbon I've ever had.
That's why what was it, Crystal Skull or Crystal Head vodka sold so well, just because everybody wanted a skull-shaped vodka bottle. Yeah, that's
another reason why.
If there's like a space or a moon logo on it, I'm buying it. I don't care.
Kraken rum. That's like by far my favorite bottle.
Yeah, you know, I tried getting years ago. I tried getting a hold of a Louis XIII bottle from work, because I used to work in the nightclub industry.
Bar industry? Come on.
In the bar industry.
You were a bartender. It's not a sin.
I was a bartender. I won't say where I worked. I'll try and keep it kind of polite right now. But we used to sell Louis XIII for $125 a shot. We would get the bottle at cost, $3,000. Here's the crazy thing. That was the most expensive product we had. We made the least amount of money on.
Yeah.
Just because of the markup. The bottle alone, we had a rule. Whoever sold the very last shot out of it got to keep the bottle.
Yep.
The empty bottle alone sells for around $900 to $1,000 on like eBay.
If you come in the right time, you can profit off your bar night.
Yes.
That would be great.
I'm happy with my $5 bottle of wine.
I'm not a big wine drinker. I drink like really cheap wine whenever I do, until I went out to my uncle's wedding out in Napa, California, and I went from being I don't care about wine, to being like, oh, would you like this $200 bottle of wine or this $200 bottle of wine? And then like, oh, you didn't finish it? We'll just go out back and dump it in the garden. Because in Napa, especially the really hoity-toity wine people, if you open a bottle of wine, you finish the bottle of wine, or you dump it out.
The audacity.
I know.
I like the rule of having to finish it. I don't like the consequences of not finishing it. That's a little wrong.
Well, I mean, like, obviously, if it's your bottle of wine, you can do whatever you want. But like when you're at a catering, like a banquet hall, yeah, they just go out and dump the bottle of wines. The people who catered the like hors d'oeuvres after the wedding, so they don't drink champagne in Napa. You get champagne, but they drink sparkling wine, which is pretty much champagne, but not made in Champagne, Italy, so not legally allowed to be called champagne.
Wait. Made where?
Champagne, Italy.
France.
I'm thinking about Parmesan. I'm thinking about Parmesan. Apparently, Parmesan cheese is a similar thing in Italy.
How do you go from champagne to Parmesan cheese?
I poured very heavy on my second glass of vodka. That's why.
I'm about to slam this beer to catch up. Too bad I can't shotgun out a glass.
Oh man, that would be great to see.
I get really excited when I'm out and about anything with the NASA logo or moons or space, because the hype getting real.
But here's the thing.
And like, you gotta fit and you go into like the young girls section or anyone who wants to go and buy from that section, and there's NASA logos.
Oh my god.
Everywhere.
I tripped out a couple months ago when my old roommate and his girlfriend told me about all of this NASA logo stuff. And like, I think I've randomly found it like on my phone or something like that. Like, why am I finding this one random thing at A&M with a NASA logo?
Yep.
And then they're telling me, it's like, dude, they have like an entire lineup of just like all kinds of NASA stuff. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
H&M? What? This kind of place has like NASA logos everywhere? This can't be right.
The
and
worst
there's
thing.
like kind of people that will argue like, oh, you can't wear NASA if you don't know it. Like, that's not the point.
See, here's the issue that I have with that, is that because when I see people wearing NASA stuff, I want to go talk to them about space stuff, and they don't know anything.
But see, that's the gameplay.
And it's like
wearing the logo, like, from what if they didn't buy it because of that same reason? Like, what if someone walks up to me, I don't know anything? Then they'd be scared to ever get into it, which is why if you don't know anything, that's so exciting.
I know, and I love talking to them about it, but it's also like, I feel like, yes, I found someone who loves space, and they just don't care about space, but they like the the meatball has become like an icon, like to wear.
It's become a trendy.
I love the trend of it. I'm so excited. It's a little it's always disheartening when you find someone who wears space stuff but doesn't know anything about space and they don't care about space.
Oh
yeah, there's the stigma that if you're not into science or math, then you don't deserve to be here.
Oh yeah, I don't believe that at all.
There's been a lot of people that they're like, I just don't care because I'm not welcome here. And so if you meet someone like that, it's such a great opportunity to be like, oh my gosh, well, let me talk to you about NASA. Instead of being like, oh, well, you don't know anything.
The issue is it's usually at Starbucks and it's like a 5-second conversation. Like, oh, you in the space? No, I don't know anything about space. And then they get their drink and leave. And it's like,
yeah,
we almost had a nice conversation. It's like 3-second conversations with people. It's like, we could have stayed longer, but you just walked away.
And it's like for the longest time, I was trying to use the hashtag on Twitter, which I'm bad at keeping up on using hashtags, but I was trying to use the one "go see a launch" because I mean that's like the easiest way to get people interested in stuff in this kind of stuff. Is the most exciting part of it is the launch, hearing the roar of the stuff, seeing the night sky lit up like daytime. It's just so exciting to actually go there and see. Even if you're watching on TV, it's really crazy to see that. Yo, we just yeeted that thing into space. That's my thing to say.
Well, that thing's gone.
That thing's gone. That is
where'd it go? It's
back
over China now. Like it's gone. Like
my first launch was the Northrop Grumman cargo launch. And
seen the Cygnus?
Oh
yeah.
Oh man, I had to walk away from one.
Social was Cygnus. Northrop Grumman did a cargo launch. I think they sent up some moustronauts.
I remember that one. Yeah.
The best part.
But
Rachel, that was a NASA social, right?
Yeah.
Daryl, that was our first launch. That
was my first launch.
Daryl has yet to do a NASA social, and every time there's another person on a NASA social that comes on, I always point it out just to irritate him.
I turned one down back in February. It wasn't for a launch.
About back in November.
Yeah.
And
Daryl.
I just fell in love with it so quickly, and I wouldn't be talking to y'all if I didn't get that first opportunity, which made me, as like primarily a fashion blogger, feel so welcome.
Exactly, and that's why hashtag go see a launch.
Everyone needs to see a launch.
I need to start tweeting that out more. Yeah.
Go see a launch.
Go see a launch. Hashtag see a launch. And I mean, come on, especially nowadays when no one is like everyone's glued to Twitter trendings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I'll be honest. The trending has been insane the past couple days on Twitter. Like, one, why is there so much sex stuff on trending on Twitter? Like, calm down. Like,
I don't want
please.
sex. I want rocket launches
Yes.
and Hubble photos.
Yeah.
Is it that hard?
But the trendings have been changing so quickly. Like they used to be the same. Like some would cross over into like day to day. But now it's like we're on a completely different subject every day on Twitter, and it's crazy. People are bored. People are way too bored.
Twitter is.
Yeah, I bet they are.
Twitter is Twitter. I'm looking at my Twitter right now of what's trending for me. I don't know why this kind of stuff is trending for me. Hashtag Avengers Assemble. I would probably because I was watching Civil War at 3:00 this morning.
Today's the 1 year anniversary of Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man sacrificed himself for the greater good of the universe.
Oh,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, good job, Seth.
I saw it trending. I'm like, Avengers Assemble. Like, whenever I see something weird trending, I'm like, now I have to know. Like,
good job. Your nerd cred just went up a bit. My nerd cred went up today because I've seen the ISS twice today. Guess what? Guess what's trending for me? Moist.
No, back up. You saw the ISS twice today?
I did. I did.
Oh,
Hang
yeah,
on,
because you took some pictures.
I did take some pictures.
Boy, you did picture things.
That was a very natural segue right there.
That was our best segue in 14 episodes.
Ever.
That was hands down our best. Congratulations, everyone. Just give everyone a round of applause, pat on the back. That was a team effort. Like, that was great.
Yes. So, let me try and pull it up real fast. I'm waiting for it to spin up. Was this the one from today? No, that's one of them.
Who I think is watching, and my dude I think is watching.
Uh-oh.
And they were like, "The ISS is about to pass over you," and I was like, "Ah!" And so I grabbed my roommate, we went up, and it was beautiful.
Oh, it
I wish my parents were that excited about the ISS passing overhead.
I've had I post about it on a lot of people I know personally, family, friend of work with, kickball with, and things like that. And I posted on there about passes happening and things like that. My cousin, her husband, her kids all went out to look at it. Right when I told them to go out and look at it, the direction look, and she messages me back. She's like, "My kids didn't even believe it." I'm like, it's true. Oh. That was really it. So I'm sharing the screen right now. I don't know if you can see. That's the. Oh yeah, that's the.
Hold on, I need to fix your thing because you use ultra wide.
Because I use a widescreen monitor.
Irritates me. Yeah, you gotta zoom that in.
So yeah, this is as good as it's gonna be. Today when I caught it this morning at 4:20 in the morning. It was.
Trying to see it.
It was actually. It was seeing a sunrise. It's seeing times a day. So the lighting was thrown off on this one. It wasn't, in full daylight like it normally is when it passes over. So kind of stuff. This is not my best ISS pass, but that's what I saw this morning. Now, this afternoon at 12:40. Hang on, let me unshare my until I get this.
Don't worry, I'm very quick with the switching of the screens.
We've learned the lesson.
We've learned many lessons. We don't test. We just do. We're like SpaceX. We just do things.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes stuff that shouldn't be shown on stream gets shown on stream.
Oh my gosh, that should be their slogan. We don't test.
I think that's a horrible slogan to have.
So,
I don't think NASA would be very happy with that slogan.
All right, Seth. It's safe. Go ahead and share.
Oh no.
So,
I don't trust you. Hold up. Guess. Okay, cool. There we go. Now I can transition.
So, this afternoon, I drove my way over to Waveland, Mississippi. I had to think about it. I don't go over to Mississippi ever.
Does anyone?
And I went and caught this. Don't blink.
Oh yeah, I've actually missed this several times. I actually was watching it before I called you guys, and I actually blinked twice at the perfect time to miss it. It literally is faster than a blink.
It is. In fact, I'm gonna. All right, so I'm sharing my screen.
So how did you get into photography?
Well, that goes back years. Actually, when I was a kid, I was a Boy Scout, and I'd always seen my dad's stuff. He had a Canon. I think the model was like a AE5. I think it was called. That he bought in Vietnam, and I saw the pictures he took, and the one that struck me the most was he took a picture of an old Huey helicopter, and he had it on such a fast shutter speed that the blades were just like frozen in air. You can make out the detail perfectly on the blades and everything like that. It's like it was just stopped in midair. And that got me interested in it. So when I became a Boy Scout years later, I went out for the photography merit badge. I learned how to do stuff on that camera. I shot on film, learned how to develop it, and the development process kind of went south. Because the guy who's teaching it, I mean, nobody ever went for the photography merit badge, so his skills weren't all theirs. But we tried it out, and went by the book, and got the basics, trying to learn the stuff and whatnot. And then years later, I want to say maybe about 10 years ago, I decided, you know what, let me get into this, and I went and bought a Canon Rebel. And that was it. I just kept trading up from there, getting better and better stuff as my skills got better. I got to a point where I was kind of down on stuff for a while, had to sell everything, and then I started over, and now I'm never selling all my gear ever again.
Yeah, he learned his lesson from selling me stuff. I bring it up every episode.
With you, I traded up because I got the next generation. I sold Seth a monster lens.
Oh, I love that lens.
And then I bought the second generation version of it. But then I was going around doing stuff, and I'm not much for people photography. All of these photographers out there that want to do the maternity photos or the wedding photos,
senior
or
pictures, headshots,
things like that.
It's a fine way. It's great income.
It is, but the thing is, weddings, I do not want to do. Although, if y'all remember some tweets I put out a while back, a couple of weeks ago, my friends were supposed to get married, and all of that got canceled and everything. Well, we did like a drive-by celebration for them. I said, you know what? I got my camera with me. I'm gonna go out and take pictures and do some video of it. And it exploded. The friends and family just shared it all over everywhere. Good Morning America did a piece on it and used my stuff.
No way!
Not just my stuff. Here's the crazy thing. They were apprehensive about using it because they said, well, we don't want to use anything from a professional. I'm like, oh, that's worth it. That's
definitely not Daryl, so you're safe.
So
okay,
hit it with the hard T.
So I decided to get into, started trying to do other stuff. I did a little bit of street photography in and around New Orleans and whatnot. I did some greats when I was living in the French Quarter years ago. That was like a past life. That's how long ago that was. And then I started getting into more high pressure kind of stuff where you got things that move fast or you don't have a lot of time to get it right. The first one, and I to this day I still say it's some of my best work, was when the Blue Angels came to town a couple of years ago. In fact, I'm pulling it up in Lightroom right now. Some of this stuff, I mean, it's just so incredible. And I didn't even do anything except do a little crop to him. Now, I have gone back and played around with him again recently. There was one, I forget where it's at in this list. I took like 2,000 pictures.
I'm low-key excited. So the Blue Angels and Thunderbirds are doing like a cross-country like tour of like flyovers over cities.
Yes.
And I live pretty far away from Fort Lauderdale. They're doing it in New York. I'm kind of hoping they do Miami and Fort Lauderdale because that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
And it would give me somewhat of excitement.
Well, they are doing a New Orleans. They haven't set the date yet. But I've got a picture similar to this, not this exact one. This is from my mix that I went back and did about a week or two ago. But I have one where you just see the bottom of it, and when I happened to catch it, it was just cloud, and it looks like a model of the plane background. I just happened to catch him, and that I feel was some of my best work. And then getting into rocket launch photography, I decided, I finally want to go see a rocket launch. It's something my dad had talked about as a kid, going to see, space shuttle launch. They would always like wake me up early in the morning. I think they even kept me home from school once or twice to watch a launch on TV. Like, knew how much I cared about the stuff. We talked about going, we never did, and I finally decided I see one, and the mission script, everything about KSC, I said, I've got to be back. I've got to be back. And, my first few launches were kind of bad, but then I end up with, masterpieces like this. I've had this one printed out and hung up on the wall before.
Which Starlink was that?
This was...
Was that the demo?
No, this is the one from November of last year.
What camera with?
So I have a number of different...
He has a lot of cameras. Let's just say that.
I do. So much that
Let's talk about.
I have one out on loan right now to a buddy of mine who's learning to do stuff. He's going to be working with some models and things like that. I'm like, good luck to you, brother. That is my Canon 7D that's loaned out. I have a 5D Mark II. A what?
7D Mark II.
No, 1.
Oh, Mark 1. Okay.
Great starter cam. If anybody wants to jump into it and not get a Rebel.
I just bought one. It's great.
Yeah.
I just jumped from a Rebel T6 to a 7D, and it's amazing.
My go-to camera these days is Canon's EOS R mirrorless. I love that.
I cannot wait for the R5 to come out. Oh.
Have you seen the prices of it? Good God.
So I've been to, and all three have been. I haven't.
Oh, Daryl.
And I shoot with a Canon 70D. I haven't gotten into actually attempting like crisp, clear rocket photos. And I was wondering, like, the capabilities of a 70D.
What lens do you have?
That one, of course.
It's the one that came with the camera. So 8.
Yeah, I need to get one in some.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, you do. I think like what? Over 100 millimeters at least you need. It depending on what. It depends on which, where you go. So if you go in the Wallops, you can get up to like what 2.5 miles, I think, close to that. So
I was close.
What?
Wallops is close.
Yeah, you get for Wallops you can get super close. You can go lower, but for like if you're going to Kennedy Space Center and you're not on a press site, you need 600 millimeters.
Here's the thing I've learned about Kennedy, and I'm sharing another picture right now. This is a good picture, and I pointed out. Tori Bruno retweeted this like 2 or 3 times.
Tori, our favorite CEO.
This was okay. So what I've learned is that when you're doing launches in Florida, distance matters. Because you got that Florida haze that's going to kill everything day or night, especially at night. This was from the LC-9 observation gantry. If you can ever get there, especially for pictures, do it. Shell out the extra $50 for it, whatnot. Get there, because it makes a world of difference. You see a picture like this. Yet I was at OFT back in December. Boy, the difference for me, I was the Saturday I mean, compared to all that Florida hate on a damn thing, just it's rough. The best was an early, that's it. So.
Oh, SAHF5, right? Yeah, is that the one you're talking about?
No, this is
OFT. OFT. Sorry, I thought you said AHF. Yeah, I'd missed that one, sadly. I did not get up to that one. I'm trying to find my pictures.
Except what happened.
It was a daytime of that mission. Over a year, this was because of a delayed lunch window. The first time I ever got, I got myself a high anything. Nope, that Florida hate.
Oh yeah.
So next, the tough now to get land. It's kind of high between a Delta 4 Heavy and an actual good launch.
And they brought us up. And I cried. And I.
So yeah, and I'll share
something at 39.
And so these are my pictures I have from.
Seth, what's your story? I'm going to interview y'all. What is
the tides have turned?
About getting photography?
You're interviewing us.
Tides have turned. Bring it on, Seth.
So I got into photography when I graduated from college, end of August of 2018. Got my parents to buy me a Rebel T6 for my graduation gift. I got them to buy it to me. They just gave me a bunch of money, and that's what I chose to buy. So I just wanted to do streaks. Like I saw streaks, and I'm like, I want to do that. That sounds fun. And then over the past year, streaks are so much fun, and I have some pretty decent streaks. My best streak, so sadly, has a break in it, which irritates me. But
that's beautiful.
So yeah, so the one I have picture up, this is Arab Sat, which was my, I think.
You had to bring
I love to be on a boat to watch a launch. Oh my gosh.
Hey, we can talk about that too.
Seth and I both have a story.
Oh,
Go ahead, Seth.
Man. Yeah, so this is Arab Sat, and so these are two things that I don't think Daryl's done SCP. No, Daryl, you've seen a Falcon land on land. You were SCP too, right?
Yeah, but not close enough for a...
Oh yeah, because Arab Sat, you got great landing pics from where I was for Arab Sat. Luckily, there was no haze, which it was early enough in the year there wasn't any haze.
Oh my.
And this is the reason why you need a 600 millimeter is because this is.
Did you cry?
What?
Did you cry?
No.
I did.
I did not cry. I cheered.
But for a very different reason.
Daryl had to walk away again. So, but we don't need to talk about that because it hurts his feelings.
I had to walk away from that launch.
And this is not from his lens. This is from the Sigma 150 to 600 that I rented. This is from his lens though. The Tamron 150 to 600. As you can see, because I had to quickly switch from a wide angle to a telephoto, and the tripod not meant for a telephoto. I'll be honest. So the tripod was level. The tripod was level. The reason why the horizon is tilted is because the actual mount for the tripod was bending. So Daryl, I'll just let you know that if I didn't buy that,
it's cool. Okay.
Your lens would have ended up in the water if that broke.
It was your lens at that point.
No, I bought it after the launch.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh no, I did buy it before the launch. That's right, I did buy it before the launch.
Well, you would have been buying it regardless.
Yeah, and I would have been paying you. Yeah, and I don't think I would have gotten the deal you gave me if I would have dropped it. But
so,
yeah, let me. Do you have IFA pulled up?
Oh,
I can pull up
video
IFA.
up?
I can try to pull up IFA. Do I have IFA?
You want my video of it?
No, I'll get a picture of it. Video's hard to do. But yeah, so me and Daryl, Rachel, both were on a boat for Inflated Abort.
On a boat.
We were on a boat. Oh, hey, this is
So much.
this is my
Very jealous.
this is my atlas, Daryl.
Ooh, spicy.
I know it's
Very nice.
I know Daryl's like I want an atlas. This is from the press set as well. This was the ULA social I went to. But yeah, I just got into doing photography. I don't know. I just kind of got into it. I'm now starting to do. I just joined the photography team at my church. So yeah, I'll pretty much be doing concert photography like every weekend, which is gonna be fun for free because I don't know why. Where's IFA?
I've got.
Oh, you do have stills? I didn't know you got stills. Okay. Yeah. So you pull them up. Let me know when you have them up.
Alright. I got them up.
It's
my story about it is.
Is it on the correct screen? Oh, there it is.
A bunch of photographers on one particular boat.
Oh, I know what picture to pull up as well.
We had obviously Seth, Greg Scott. We had
Das.
Das was with us.
Chance from Launch 360.
He ended up putting his gear away.
Yeah, he didn't even. He just had a free ride, or not free ride, but he had just a ride. Just viewed it. He didn't do anything.
Basically.
It was too choppy of seeds.
And I had this ridiculous. Had two cameras. Tripod. To the location. They're hugging. Do it for dear life. Over. So much. I was gear safety, and so I love my gear. I love my gear. So we got out there. Too rough. I can't half my stuff, and I freehanded. I didn't even.
Yeah, let me show you. This is what it looked like from the side from Jetty Park. You see my screen?
I'm.
There we go.
This was our boat.
Oh yeah, that's us.
How fun!
So you have Julia Berger on that boat, me, Daryl, Dustin Smith,
Yeah, you can see me.
Chance, Das.
Seth is wearing the white
Greg
hoodie
Scott.
in that one.
I'm wearing the white. It was very easy for me to see. Like,
I am
easily
right to the left of that white. That and on the other side.
Yeah, you can
So that's
easily count up the amount of money that was on that boat and camera equipment. And like, if that we were riding low.
Yes.
And I'm just sitting there, just like I'm sure all these professional photographers are on the boat. Well, yeah, have insurance on their stuff. Like I'm sure Das has insurance for all of his gear. Like his backpack is worth like $1,200, like that alone. I'm sure Greg Scott has insurance on his equipment. Me and probably Daryl and probably like a few other people, we don't have insurance on our equipment.
Oh no.
And I'm just like, if we go down, I'm saving the equipment.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
like, I will, like, as long as that survives, I'm fine. I don't need to survive. As long as the equipment survives.
Yeah. It's a video, and oh my god, it worked because for my name on there, I should. And some rumble. The IFA video, and and the way it's all bobbed, all struggling, keeping the frame and whatnot. As I'm doing video, right at that second, from behind, stabilize a little bit. Sucker going pop, and the is just, and I managed stills out of it. Now I don't know if you.
Yep, yours is up. Yours is already shared.
Yeah, that's the I caught that I pulled out of the video, and it's the first time I tried using video. I didn't need to check and see if I could bump it up or something like that. And yes, that's one of the where you actually get some. And man, and maybe here or
there were
Air Force.
some at the press, but a lot of it did get blocked by the clouds. Man, where is I swear I've posted this earlier, but I cannot find my IFA photo. This is why I need.
Oh, it was.
That's the true meaning of the day.
Seth, mark it down.
Yep, I marked it down for you. Don't worry.
Jeez.
Just keep talking. I'll find my photo one day. I will find this. I'm so far deep into my history on Twitter. I will find this photo eventually.
You gotta organize stuff.
I do need to put them all on my PC. Huh?
Wait, is that what?
Your meme? You brought a space to the.
Oh, here it is. I got it. Our meme have not started yet. We haven't got memes yet. Calm down.
Well, you said keep talking, so I talk about memes.
Okay, so let me share this. I found it. Let me share this with you. My bad. I didn't know that's what you just took over the show. All right, this is your show now, pretty much. There we go. So yeah, this is mine from IFA. I got way closer because mine wasn't even at 600 millimeters. This was at like maybe 200.
I didn't do 600 either because I was also manually focusing.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was also manual. So this is something that we usually don't share, but I decided to share it. This is before. That's what we saw. And then that's what I got.
Yeah,
I love the power. The power of RAW.
I pray to Photoshop at night.
Yeah. Lightroom.
My Photoshop, Lightroom have improved drastically.
Oh yeah. Do you wanna quickly power through the rest of the news we have? Things happen in space. We're gonna power through these as fast as Antares goes through.
Mars.
Yes.
We're gonna power through these as fast as Antares goes through Max Q. So, because I don't think Antares throttles down.
We're gonna go through these as fast as a Vega gets off the pad. That's books.
I think that yeets hard. So quickly, this is actually super cool news. We're gonna be launching. We're gonna have a launch. It's gonna be a fully solid rocket motor launch, but it's not gonna be from Earth. It's gonna be from.
Oh, this is weird.
It's gonna be from Mars. So this is the whole part of the, like the Mars 2020 program that they came up with. So the first part launches in 2020, which is the Perseverance rover, which I think we've all are going to be commonly calling it Percy.
That's what I was about to say. Me to it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Call
it Percy because I really want to call it Percy for short.
I like Percy. Percy
cute.
is acceptable. I like Opportunity better. Not Opportunity. Sorry.
What were the options? I voted for something different.
What? You didn't vote for Perseverance?
I liked Vision because I was thinking about the Avengers.
Yes.
That's okay. You know what? I'll give you Vision for thinking of Avengers. If you would have said though, because 2020, I would have just ended. I would have just ended the call. Like you would have, the show would have been done.
A vision, because I was thinking about the Avengers.
I wanted Destiny.
And super cute. Destiny was good too, but I mean,
Destiny wasn't even suggested. No one suggested Destiny. And I was just kind of like, why is it not Destiny? Like, come on, like this is probably the last rover going to Mars before like we land on Mars. Like we should call it Destiny. Because all the other rovers have been called like Opportunity, Spirit. What was the first one? I just blanked on the first rover. Oh man,
Pathfinder. Well,
not Pathfinder.
Pathfinder was the lander. When a Sojourner was the little rover that came off of.
Yeah, Sojourner, which I think is like it has to do with like someone's journey, but Destiny. Like
thank you the Martian for helping me remember that one.
I totally forgot. Yeah, I totally forgot about that little guy.
I finished that book. Oh, I love it so much.
It's great, wasn't it?
I love that book.
Yeah.
I love when he's having a conversation back with Earth the first time, and he's like, "Watch your mouth. Everything you type is being broadcast all over the world." Like, oh yeah.
Look.
That was great.
Did they type out boobs?
Yes, he said it was look boobs, and it was like it was like
with the like.
We don't need to say what the first sentence of the book is.
No.
But all I would say is I handed like my mom's not reading it. Once I was done with it, I gave it to my mom, and I gave it to her when she was here, and she just opens the book up, and like you'll like the beginning. Trust me, mom. Opens the book up, and all of a sudden she's like, "I see a read," and then she just starts laughing. Like,
the way I sell this book to people is by showing them the first.
Yes. That's how Daryl got me on Rocket Riders. The first like paragraph.
Riding
rockets
by Mike Mullane. That is. Oh my God.
It's an interesting first page. It's definitely an interesting first page.
Yes.
But so the plan for Mars 2020 is, for this whole project is going to be you have Perseverance. Landing on it, and Perseverance is going to collect samples, core samples from Mars, collect them, steal them, and then I believe this is going to be in 2026. Mm-hmm. We're going to have a lander, which it looks like it's based off of the InSight lander. And I know InSight lander is based.
ESA a part of this?
Huh? Yes. This is between NASA and ESA. So yeah, I believe this is. So the lander's going to land. It's going to have. I just love this mission. I don't know, but the more I think about it, the more I love it. It's gonna have a rocket and it's gonna have a rover. The rover's gonna Perseverance is gonna drop the core samples. This is actually gonna land near Perseverance.
Oh.
It's gonna go out. The little rover's gonna go out, pick up the core samples, come back, load it up on the rocket, and they're gonna launch the rocket into orbit. This is like amazing. I just love this.
To my understanding, isn't it? It's like ESA's craft is going to collect the samples.
So NASA's craft's going to collect. So Perseverance is going to. Oh yeah. So yeah, ESA is doing the rover, and ESA is making the Earth return vehicle. So there's going to be. Oh, and guess what they call this thing? They call it the MAV.
Intentional?
Well, it's Martian Ascent Vehicle. The rocket's going to be called a MAV, Martian Ascent Vehicle. And I believe that's the same thing what it's called in The Martian. It's called the MAV, Martian Ascent Vehicle.
It's giving me feels like
I feel like the first one has to be, the first one has to be named after The Martian. I just feel like it has to. But yeah, they're gonna launch it, and then so NASA's doing the rocket and the lander. ESA's doing the rover to pick up the samples, and then the return the Earth vehicle that's gonna be in orbit.
Did y'all watch Solar Orbiter? Or
yes, I did.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Oh, beautiful.
I was at the NASA State of NASA social the day after.
Yes.
That was perfect.
A great time.
I really wish that we could have gotten into the Solar Orbiter social. Like, can we just combine the socials? Like, we're already checked to go through on the NASA. Like, can you just let us on? Like,
I watched Solar Orbiter launch from a hotel room in Maryland because I was chasing the Antares launch.
And this is also the time where he also turned down the state of NASA which one was it?
Stennis.
Marshall? Stennis.
No, Stennis.
Oh,
Yeah.
this looks so much fun.
Saying NASA was fun.
Here's the thing, I got waitlisted for it, and then I got off of it, so I didn't even get outright picked for it. I just got more of like a consolation prize type of thing on that one.
My first social, I was waitlisted, and I was like, oh, this isn't mean anything. And then they took me off, and I was like,
waitlisting means something, because I've been denied so many times.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have too.
So, yeah, so let's keep powering through the news here. Let's transition back.
Powering through while I put stick on my lens hood. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Stickers on the lens hood, bro. Come on. All right, we can talk about that later off stream. Discipline you for that. So just read the instructions. Got new thrusters, which is actually very exciting because I think these thrusters are way bigger. Like,
well, it's in Louisiana.
Yes.
On.
Yeah, these came over from when Just Read the Instructions was under like refurbishment and all this other stuff, and then it came over to Cape Canaveral. They installed them all. They're huge. So these little like structures are I think they're like the motor. They're obviously what powers them, and then these like blue massive like things on the side are what the actual like contains the thruster. They're like they have to be easily like 5 times the size of the old ones, easily.
Yeah. They even got new generators for it and whatnot.
Yeah, that's what they're. Yeah, they even did tests of the generators as well, which I think I have a video of that. Yeah, here you go. Just a little. It's like if it plays.
Oh.
There we go. Yeah, so it's just some little like black puffs of it. So I think the one thing that this means is that possibly these could become true on like autonomous drone ships, because they're not. And if we ever have Julia Bergeron on, she will definitely tell us this. They're not drone ships; they're barges.
Yes.
Like, just because they're called autonomous drone ships does not mean they're actual ships. They're barges.
And I from her. In fact, I'm gonna share my screen with you now. One of the pictures that I got when it was here in Louisiana. This is before they started doing work on it. They took the wings off, put it up on the deck and whatnot. This is any old barge that you'd see going Mississippi River. They just modified it, and you can see. I think it's right here, circling that, and being one of the thruster locations. There's another one up front. I haven't seen updated pictures of the one up front. I am worried. This annoys me because that's on there.
Oh yeah, the little mouth that they have on the drone ships are kind of cool. But
yeah. So that's what's up with that. And then I think these were when it first arrived because they didn't do any work. But some of where they had the thruster. And yeah, there's definitely a big difference from then till now. But I feel like it's the kind of stuff they still could have done here in Louisiana, but I not to because of me. We'll never know.
We don't know it was you, but I mean, come on, you pissed them off enough, so probably.
I mean, I never.
There's a story there, and I'm very excited.
I guess I can talk about it now since it's gone, and I don't know if it's coming back. No, there's a lot of things I kept to myself, like the location. One of the things is that I'm not even sure if I got a picture of it. I did get a picture of the clover on there, though.
I totally forgot they even had the clover on there.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And there's the old blue ones that they took off.
So that's what they look like. Do you have a picture of the new ones?
Let me see if I got a close
because the old ones they look like
they kind of look like toothpicks
compared to the new ones they do. But yeah, I'll let you search through it yourself, and I'll switch back. But basically, yeah, they kind of look like oversized. They look like a little bit larger, but just like kind of like the thruster that people have on boats. They have in the front of the boat, so they can go backwards. You know what I'm talking about? It kind of looks like that, but just like for a boat, like for a barge, pretty much, and they have 4 of them, and the new ones, they're huge. They're a million times larger. I'm sure Julia has a picture.
Those.
Huh?
What do you think? What do you think SpaceX left Louisiana?
So, no, the problem is this this company that was doing it. I forget. I kind of don't want to put them on blast, but when I was there, the security was so lax. Days. That's when I just. At the time, I was by it. Actually, Seth, if you share my, see what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I'm on a levee right here on the water. The other side of the levee, there's their fence line and everything like that, and I'm able to just walk right along it. I'm like less than a football field away from it. In fact, on the other side of where they dropped all the wings off over here, where I'm circling with the mouse, there was a gate left wide open. I mean, just wide open. If I wanted to, I could have walked in and walked up on the deck. Now, I wasn't going to test them. I didn't want to piss anybody off like that guy did in Boca Chica. I even kept that quiet online because I didn't want anybody getting stupid. I tried not to say where it was because I didn't want anybody going to mess with stuff. I was just photographing this from public accessible areas, wasn't going to trespass or anything like that. It was in full view, and it was dangerous. I was getting some pictures. Seth, I looked through any pictures of the new ones. The only picture from somebody who shared it on somehow made it over to us. Somebody who is nowhere near involved with the spaceflight community, anything like that. Somebody just happened to randomly come across it and put 2 and 2 together, and that's how it made it to us. But I did not get those pictures. Massive.
So you want to talk about something else becoming a possible ship?
Uh-oh.
Starship!
Uh-oh.
Starship had a very busy weekend. Let me share this. And
Did you watch the test?
Too much.
Oh.
Till
about midnight?
Oh, only midnight. Oh. Dude, you missed a lot. I was up till like 3 a.m.
Really? What else happened?
Well, okay,
I
3 a.m. my time, so 2
a.m.
a.m. your time. 2 a.m. your time. So only
Was it?
I just watched it.
Oh.
I just watched it. The frost go away.
I did too.
So that's pretty much all it was. It was like I was like watching till like 2 a.m. pretty much both nights.
I didn't think it was that late
because they delayed the test. I think the first night, and so I know that one was definitely the 2 a.m.
Was
yeah.
this one right?
Yeah. So SN4, they just now fully completed. They moved it to the test stand. This is a picture of Boca Chica gal, Mary from Boca Chica, who we all love, and for all the stuff that she does. And this is a video of it coming from the fog. I love the early morning because it's so foggy in the morning, and so you just see this. Well, okay, let's be honest here. We all sat up and watched several hours of a metal silo being filled with gas.
I love that you call it a silo because that's exactly what it looks like.
It is exactly a silo. It's everyone's been calling it in all like one of the groups I'm in. Like it's a silo, and it's great. So they did Saturday night. They did a pressure test where they just filled it full of just like I think it was just room temperature or like just gas pretty much. Made sure it held pressure, and then they did the cryo testing last night. And according to Elon, it passed. So here's a video of. Yeah, we all kind of like. Oh my gosh, it was. I cannot wait to see this thing launch. So
okay, so now that it's past the next, which
I believe is a.
after engines.
I believe it's a static fire.
They're attaching 1 for a static fire.
Yeah.
Then they're going to 3 for a 150 meter hop.
Yes.
Because it's doing like a total of 6.
6 what?
6 what?
6 engines.
Depending on the configuration, I believe. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Starship's doing 6 engines, 3
Okay.
sea level, 3 vacuum.
We're not going to see 6 for a while, though.
Yeah. No, we won't see 6 for a while. The
Yeah,
super heavy booster though
and then
has.
3, and they'll just keep going up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll probably just do 3 until they actually launch it with a super heavy, and then they'll probably test out the vacuum engines. Other than that, but they haven't even built a vacuum engine yet for Raptor. I don't think. I mean, at least we
Love
haven't
that.
seen any Raptor vacuum engines. We've only seen sea level engines. So,
Oh,
yeah.
Seth, you ought to show the video.
oh yeah, the one of it snowing. This one.
Oh, yeah.
It's snowing in Texas. Snowing in South Texas too. Brownsville is pretty much Mexico.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty
This-
much as close as you get to Mexico. while being in the
It's
United States.
it's the very southern tip of Texas.
And I think the closest cell tower is in Mexico. So when you go down to Mexico, it thinks you're in Mexico, and so you get and you'll get billed for being out of the country.
So what's their launch profile look like? Are they going to go straight out of the Gulf into the Atlantic?
I believe the
Every time?
150. I think the 150 meter hop is going to be straight up, straight down.
Yeah.
And that's
I
going to be
get that.
it's going to be exactly the same to the Star Hopper. Yeah, but I believe though for anything higher, like the kilometer size hops, they're going to go out to the Gulf and then come back in.
Well, I mean, just like operational launches. I mean, is it
Oh,
just going to go into the Gulf and out to the Atlantic? Because that's a narrow corridor.
that is a narrow corridor. I don't know what that would be, but I assume though if it aborts, they can land it in Florida.
It's the whole flying over population
Like
thing,
it's
especially in an emergency.
Oh yeah, no way they're gonna. I mean, it will be an emergency. I'm not sure what their flight profile is gonna be. Obviously, they want to launch out of it. Maybe they can get it higher enough to where it doesn't matter before it hits Florida, or it can launch southward, and it can like. But even then, you're hugging the coast of Mexico. So.
Yeah,
Oh man. So yeah, but
that was pretty.
that was pretty. I love that. Was fun. It was frosty. It got nice and frosty. That's when everyone freaked out in the Discord I was in, and like we're just sitting there. All of a sudden, the one person goes, "I see frost." Everyone's like, "Frost, frost, frost!" And then as someone, I missed Elon's tweet, but I definitely saw the Discord just literally light up with like, "Congratulations, yay!" Like applause and like people freaking out that it worked. Though I'm not sure though if they did. I'm assuming so that centerpiece that's in the video right there, that actually pushes up on the
Yes.
on the rocket, so it tests the thrust puck as we call it.
Yes.
I love that. We both love that word. It's such a great word.
Yes.
I don't know if we had confirmation if they used that and if they tested that. So I don't
think
know.
He said they did.
Yeah, I
He
would.
said it was pushing up on it.
Okay, yeah, so that's good. So yeah, it tests like the thrust puck, which is what the engine's attached to. So it kind of simulates an actual like not probably a launch, but at least the force on it. I'm trying to think what else. But yeah, no, SM4. It didn't crumple yet.
Yay!
Yet. It's a big
Don't
yet.
do that.
Listen,
that.
I have faith, but I also have a very destructive mind, and I don't mind. It's kind of fun. Listen,
Destructive testing.
I made sure I had plenty of time off for in-flight abort. All right. When there's possibilities of a rocket blowing up, I'm there.
Oh yes. Rocket.
That's that. So, Rachel, we're at the time. Time for memes.
Show me the meme.
Daryl, do you want to go first? Yeah, I can go. I already have it up.
Yours is already up. Go ahead.
Oh wait, I didn't. Oops, I transitioned, but I didn't actually choose my screen to transition.
Yes. And this is the guy handling the technical back end of
Hey,
the show.
hey. Okay.
Welcome to
Eventually, when this
discussion
thing, okay, hold on, it hasn't showed up on OBS yet, so we're just gonna wait here for a little bit. Wait for my
We're only
computer to
one-
get its life together and figure out
Where
that
only one person has all the logins.
you haven't asked. No, you won't get him still. So, Because I have
ahead.
to. I love this meme. I found this meme so dying laughing. So it's a murderer walking around with he has a little knife and he has like the mask, and he's looking for the dude and he goes, "American astronauts," and of course because we all say it with me, American
American
astronauts
rockets.
from American soil.
Rockets.
Oh my gosh.
Wait. Oh.
Drink. By the way, we got to drink too because it was said.
Oh yeah.
I was off by a line.
No, I messed it up. I was supposed to say on American rockets from American soil, not start with American astronauts.
Well, don't they say American astronauts on American rockets from U.S. soil?
No,
No.
no, it's all American. American astronauts on
keep
American
saying
rockets.
American astronauts from U.S. soil.
No, it's
Separate.
Maybe it
it's
has,
become maybe
but the
early
meme
on.
is American soil.
Cause I'm like, y'all gotta pick one.
It's become Jim Bridenstine's tagline now, so he's got to say it the same way every time.
I love
like
that.
it's his catchphrase.
I
I
love
want
that press
a shirt.
conference where he was about to say it and John Krause lips it and he goes, "I see you lip it reading it. I'm gonna say it because I'm gonna keep because it's a big deal." American astronauts from American rockets from American soil. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, because that's the best way to get attention because we're gonna say it. All you gotta do is yell American astronauts and you're gonna be like, "On American rockets from American soil."
Yes.
Now, where's my alcohol to drink?
Oh,
Yes.
God, he said it
I
again.
I finished my drink. I don't want to pour another one, so I'm sorry.
Oh,
But that is mine. Daryl,
So-
I know this one.
I'm sharing the cursed image from ago has become even more cursed.
I love this. I love this meme. It's just the
Where-
meme that keeps on giving.
Where people are just adding on and adding on.
Wait, what's the new one
to,
on the right? What's the new one on the right?
Is there what?
The newest one on the right side of the.
One of them, I think one of them is a V2.
It looks like a miniature shuttle.
One of them's the lipstick one. I forget what it was called. It was a British rocket.
Oh, I
On
don't
the
remember
left,
either.
on the left, they added another heavy.
Yeah, so it's the meme it's been going on for almost 2 months now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, it's been less than probably a month. And it's
been a while now.
every day Falcon Heavy gets a new booster. So it starts with the Falcon Heavy, and on the right side you have a Delta core,
Mm-hmm.
a Soyuz core, Ariane 5 booster, a shuttle without the SRBs, Starhopper. I don't know what the next one is.
I think that's a shuttle SRB.
No, the shuttle SRB is on the left side of the rocket.
No, that's
is that
SLS.
Okay. No,
You can tell by the engineering paint job.
Let's be honest. We have no idea what
No.
we're not. We have
Thank you, internet. You've
suborbital
confused
Shepherd N1 lipstick.
Why would you even put something suborbital on here?
I mean, you have the space shuttle without boosters. Without the boosters, that thing won't go anywhere.
It's at least been the space.
That is
real
valid.
space.
That is valid. But yeah, we even have the Skylab Saturn V on the side. Like I didn't notice that they put another Falcon Heavy on it. That's amazing. That is great.
That's always such a weird looking Saturn V. It's
I love it.
uncommon to see.
I love it. It's so weird.
Do you, have you into Skylab?
I have not much.
It's pretty crazy. I caught up podcast. I mentioned it a few times. It's called The Space Above Us. The guy who does it, he does one episode, sometimes two, for each manned space lab stuff. I mean, for each different program, you got to kind of preface it with an episode. When he got to Skylab, dude, all the stuff that went wrong with the launch of Skylab and how the first mission had to go in to fix it only a couple days after it launched, it was absolutely nuts.
Skylab, a lot of stuff. Skylab was a great idea that ended up not doing so well.
Skylab gets really overlooked a lot, and I'm glad
it did
I
a
listened
lot of
to
great
this
things.
podcast.
Especially, it had the most volume than any other.
Oh yes,
rocket, because basically it was just a rocket they put up there. They just hollowed it out and put it like
they converted they hollowed out a S4B.
Yep, it's great.
It's really great. I recommend listening to The Space Above Us. I started with the shuttle era and then went back and caught and I just went through the Skype episode, and they're absolutely fantastic. I learned about Skype and with years, and I'm sorry that I did. Really interesting. So go check that out, folks. It's really good stuff.
Rachel, did you come up with a meme, or did we get to you too late?
No.
Aww.
Okay, I have made a space meme about myself before, and I don't know if we can show.
That works.
So it's me, rockets, literally anything else.
Oh,
what's the name of that meme? It's
it's like a
the
whole
peeping
series of
boyfriend.
pictures.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Like the peeping boyfriend picture where he's looking back at another girl walking. Yeah. There are some great ones out there.
And
there needs to be more
I just
space
one
ones.
for me, and so this is mine.
That's a great one. That's
mean,
definitely me as well. Like anything else, rocket launch. What?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was very relatable to everyone. Just like, oh, rocket launch, more than anything else.
All right. Well, that is the end of my tabs on Chrome, and the performance of my computer has gone up drastically.
Jeez.
This bad boy needs some more RAM.
A lot of news, a lot of unscheduled discussions.
Hey,
welcome
also
to the show.
welcome to the show. I'm not surprised it went
title of the show in the script.
Yeah, we use it all the time.
Welcome to the show, my friends.
Where
Who did that song?
The podcast where everybody knows
You
your
know
name.
the song. You know the song I'm talking about. Who did that one?
What?
Was that was that a Van Halen song?
What? Where everybody knows your name?
No. That's from Cheers. Where they did like some kind of little ditty. I think it's the kind of thing that's like the first song on an album, where it's like an intro to the rest of the album, and they're talking about welcome my friends to the show that never ends.
This
man.
is a song that never ends.
I quit the show.
And for everyone listening,
I quit.
you now have it all.
I quit. He did the song. I quit.
Oh,
All right.
I'm just kidding. I can't quit, y'all.
All right. So yeah, we're pretty much end of the show. Rachel, anything you want to talk about, or anything you want to shout out, or anything at all?
Thank you everyone watching, and everyone that tuned in even for a few minutes. I appreciate those of you that lasted until the end. How many puns did I make? I think I was at 3.
4.
4. That's
I'm
good.
impressed. Only 4 images, and those are all before the stream started. So nice job.
I love jokes. I love puns. Very passionate about them, even at my own expense. So I'm glad I was able to bring some of my pun art to your show. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I think it's called punnery.
Seth does the same thing, although it's usually at my expense.
Oh yeah, I have no, like, I don't care. No chill. Like, I don't care about my well-being. I don't care about other people's well-beings. If I find
end up
it
laughing
funny,
about it anyway, so it's fine.
All right, Daryl, anything you got to talk about? Anything you want to talk about?
For those of you that follow me, if they're on Facebook or Twitter, I know y'all probably saw the SS transit of the net I did today. Stay tuned. I'm not done with that. I got another coming up on Friday. Plus, I got some other similar stuff coming up. Plus, like I said, I'm dabbling in astrophotography, so definitely keep up with it. Give me a like, give me a shout. Let me know if you like it. I'm gonna keep going with it regardless. It's new stuff I've picked up because I can't go see rocket launches right now, so I'm gonna do something to pass the time.
Don't sell your stuff.
What's that?
Don't sell your stuff. That's the
No.
rule.
I'm not selling my gear, but I do sell prints of my work. So check it out. The link is in my Twitter bio, dsausse.smugmug.com. Smugmug is a great service. So yeah.
Hashtag not sponsored. But
not
hashtag please sponsor us.
Yes. So yeah, that's all I got.
All right, everyone.
Anything you want to add?
Everyone, yeah, I'm gonna do the outro now.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Oh, you got something planned.
Well, it's the same one thing I do every show. Everyone, thank you so much for coming out to the live stream. Everyone listening on the podcast, make sure you guys give us a review. That really helps us on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a comment. Watch it a second time, hit refresh a few times. That always helps us out a lot. We're YouTubers now. We got to do it. We got to say it. But
yes.
Of course, we'll see you guys all next week.
Peace and chicken grease.